All right, everybody. I cannot see how many people are on, so I'm just looking at my screen, but it's good to see everyone. We're thrilled to be here. My name is Josh Hotzenpiller, and I'm founder and CEO of JUNO, and I'll let Gabe introduce himself.
Hey everyone, Gabe Casey, VP of Product for JUNO.
Awesome. Well, hey, we're excited to share time with you this morning. We're going to take this possibly at a little bit different angle than other folks did. And of course, yes, you can direct all your questions to chat. Gabe's going to be sourcing those and being our primary answer person to those. And then I'll fast follow as we get through them, as he'll have a chance to see them and work through them. Can everybody see my screen, Gabe? Can we see my screen okay and everything looks good? Great. Well, let me tell you a little bit about the vision of JUNO, and you're going to see that vision unfold as we lay it out in the app. But here's the vision. We believe in year-round engagement. And we don't just say that, it's actually the bedrock that we're built on. JUNO came out of a community-based software in which we were building year-round solutions for amazing organizations like HP and the United Nations, where they were coming to us saying, hey, this was pre-pandemic, coming to us saying, hey, our users, members, employees, consumers, whatever it might be, they want to stay connected to us year round, and we need a tool that can do that. Of course, the pandemic hit and so many folks said, wait a minute, how do you get virtual on there? So what you're gonna see in JUNO is what I think is a beautiful, elegant expression of modern day frameworks and tools, but also you're gonna see a vision about how to connect people year round. So I'm going to go off camera so I'm not oddly looking at my phone while we're doing this, and I'll kind of come back on as we need it. So what you're going to see here is the JUNO app. Everything's configurable, and it's important that you understand this, that everything on the app is synced perfectly to the web-based experience. So think about the way you use maybe Facebook or Instagram when you're on your desktop and you post a photo and you start a chat, and then you're driving down the road and you can keep your chat going on your phone. That's the same way that JUNO can do. So imagine your experience now is fully synced. These aren't separate products. They're not integrated products. They're the exact same product. So syncing works. So imagine coming on your app now, and this is an event. And let's come back here. You're on your event. You got your home screen. Of course, this banner can be developed however you want. What's interesting about JUNO is our engines. We have two engines that drive this experience. So these are going to be very, very important when somebody's at an event or when they're using it year round. The first one is what's hot. Think about a trending engine on Netflix or anything else that says, hey, this is what most people are watching right now. This is what most people are doing right now. In an event, a lot of people are going, hey, where's everybody at? What's everybody doing? What's everyone's excited about? That's our what's hot engine. The next thing you'll notice is recommended for you. This is different. This is tailored around your experience. JUNO has a very, very cool AI engine, which we call human interest modeling. And it's built on two concepts. When a user onboards onto our platform, they declare what they're interested in. They say, hey, JUNO, these are 6 things that I'm really interested in. So we score that, we mark that. And then what happens is the user continues to go around the platform or go around the experience, and they discover things that they didn't even know they were interested in. We call those discovered tags. So we have declared and discovered tags. We score those and we begin to build recommendations for you. So now when the user comes on and they're experiencing the app, it's tailored, it's personalized for them, not only around what's hot and what people are excited about, but also what's recommended for you. Everything in JUNO is configurable, so you can build all your presenters, you can have your halls set up, all of your banners and sponsors can all come in here, which is exciting as well. And then we get into the event portion of the app. In the event app, you can have all of your schedule builder. So you can come in here and you can see your schedule. You can search by main stage, panels, breakouts. So everything's built and designed in a way for the user to come in and actually source and build their own calendar. You can see what's live, you can attend. You'll also notice those little points, and I can't point to this, but you can see it says attend, 10, and a lightning bolt. Everything in JUNO is gamified. So this is super important from an app experience because our gamification can work in several different ways. One, we can build it by teams. So imagine everybody coming on and you assign them a name or a color, and you build these cohorts so people can actually meet each other that wouldn't otherwise meet. And these work both in physical and hybrid. So imagine this, you come on site and you've got 5,000 people at your event and you go, how can we find ways for people to meet people and actually make it fun. But one of the ways that you can do it is you can actually gamify it by cohorts. So when I download the app, I could be assigned a name of a team, like let's call it the Blue Angels, or I could be assigned a color, the blue team. But I would also be assigned with, let's say, 50 or 100 other random people that now we can actually begin to gamify the experience where people can begin to go on, oh, look at this, Dana's trying to chat with me. Did you see that? So she was trying to chat with me, maybe because she's on my team. And all of a sudden it says, hey, I'm on the Blue Angels as well. Do you want to chat? And so at any point in time, I can come into my messages. It says Peter would like to chat. I can accept that. And now on the app straight away, I'm here. Where are you? And so all of a sudden inside the app, and we won't get too involved in the chats right now, but you can see that I can literally begin to chat and it can say who's online. Dana's online right now, so I can accept hers, which is pretty cool. Awesome to hear about the small groups come together. Yeah, it is cool, isn't it? So cool. So Juno has all of our chats involved. Now remember, all of these chats are also saving on your desktop. So this is all synced in. So when I go to my events, I can search by events. I can see my schedule. I can go on main stage and say, hey, what are the main stage things that are going on? And I can search by those, by panels, by breakouts, whatever it might be. I can build my schedule, or I can search by filters. So you can come in here and you can build all your filters by subject. So like, show me everything on business growth, all the events on community, et cetera, et cetera. So events are super powerful. You can go in, you can stream, you can connect in any way that you want. Now, real quick, before we move on to some other stuff, click here and you can actually see, here's a live event going on. I've got all of my QA, polls, moderator tools. These are all really neat. This is the event that's going on. You can see it right now. It gives an example of what's going on, or a little brief on what's going on. I can watch the live stream that's happening all from my phone or from my desktop. And I'll tell you where this was interesting. When we were at PCMA, actually, I was doing a event on site. I was speaking at an event on site, and I was on my desktop on site at PCMA doing the event, and all these people started asking questions. And I said, oh, where are you? And somebody said, I'm in the hotel right above you. They were actually at the event, but they wanted to stay in their room, but still catch the event. This is one of the most powerful things about being able to do this on your desktop, on your mobile, stream from wherever you are. Okay. Is there any questions that are going on about the event portion of this before we get into some of the other community and other exciting things that are going on? And if not, we will just keep cruising. All right, so back just to recap, as a user uses this from the event portion, they can build their own schedules, they can search by different areas, they can stream right in by their phone, they can chat, they can actually even use their phone if they're a panelist to stream right in. And of course, the entire experience is tailor built for them based on what's trending in the community and what's recommended for them. Now, let's get a little bit beyond the transactional moment. What happens when the event's over? Oh, are we done? Is the community over? One of the things that we know, certainly post-pandemic, is people are now comfortable and desire to stay connected in a digital environment. What's so great about Juno is we didn't stop at events. We've got your entire community app and features built into this. So remember those groups we talked about? Wouldn't it be neat if year round, if I got, and these groups aren't built in here right now, but wouldn't it be neat right now if year round I said, oh man, I'm part of the Blue Angels group or the blue team, I can stay connected to those people. Wouldn't it be neat if I could have that social field year round? So here's us on the community demo days. Juno has a full social feed where you can come in and you can chat by any subject. There's discussions, so you can actually start discussions. So hey, think about groups as the Blue Angels. Think about social feed as all 5,000 or 50,000 people talking. Think about discussions as micro conversations on, hey, I want to talk around event engagement or food and beverage, or just help me questions. You can have new posts, you can see the recent ones, you can start new discussions. And how this works is that when the user comes on and says, hey, I want to have groups that are special just to me. I want to have a social feed to see what everybody's talking about. I want to have micro discussions about topics that I don't have to go sort through. And of course, we have our directory. What's so neat about our directory is the first thing I want to call your attention to is the recommendations. Everything's about personalization. What I love about Juno is Juno will actually go in and say, hey, we're going to recommend people that you should connect with based on certain things. So I can go into their profile and say, okay, here's all the tags that Melissa has. And I can actually go into one of these and say, okay, Melissa is interested in business growth. I'm actually going to send her a message. And so I just sent her an invite to chat. She hasn't accepted it yet, but I can also leave her a little note that says, hey, you're interested in business growth and so am I. And we're both on the Blue Angels team. We should talk. So what's so cool about JUNO and in our community is that we're going to recommend people you should be talking to, but then you can also see the whole group. You can see your contacts, you can see your recommendations. You can also see how their points are in the actual app. So not only do we have all of our events going on, we also have all of our community features going on, which is super exciting because now all of a sudden we don't have a transactional product, we have a year-round one. Super exciting stuff. And people are going, this is great. After the event, I can keep my relationships up. And more importantly, you can keep your value proposition up to your members or users. When members sit there, scratch their head and go, man, should I go to the event next year or should I keep my membership? Wouldn't it be neat? And I don't know if you guys have ever experienced this, but sometimes you go to these events and it's like a bad day in junior high. You see people walking around and they're like, I don't know anybody. They're eating by themselves. They don't know how to start a conversation. We believe one of the most powerful things JUNO can bring to the table is we're going to build the gap of relationship building. We're going to see those people that are sitting by themselves and say, we're going to create mechanisms where you're not going to sit by yourself. You're not going to feel alone. And here's where that really comes in handy. How many people do you think don't show up to an event because they go, I don't know anybody. It's going to be awkward. I don't think I'm going to get the value out of it. I don't think I'm going to get the connections out of it. What if 6 months, 6 weeks before your event, you downloaded the app and you were part of the Blue Angels group? You know, and we can actually even build this around interests, right? So you said, hey, everybody on the Blue Angels group has an interest in business growth and marketing. And long before you ever got to the event, you could actually build relationships and say, I can't wait to meet you. And the person knows that when they show up, there's going to be relationships to be had, conversations to be had. Much more likely are they to buy that ticket, to show up? And we believe one of the most valuable assets that JUNO can deliver is relationship building before the event, relationship building during the event, relationship building after the event. And we do it with our human interest modeling, we do it with our gamification, we do it with our group building, and it all happens right here on your phone. Okay, let me pause real quick and see if there's any questions I'm missing. Am I missing anything? Reggie, you like that bad day in junior high? You've been there, you've seen it.
I've seen it indeed. I have indeed.
We want to avoid bad days in junior high, and JUNO can help you. That's the hashtag, folks, for everybody to remember. What'd you get out of JUNO? JUNO can make sure you don't have a bad day in junior high as an adult. All right, let me show you some more stuff. First of all, guys, I got to show you how cool this is. Watch how beautiful and elegant this UI and UX is. Look how that just folds right in there. Events, community. Well, we don't stop there, guys. We've got your full learning package as well. Wouldn't it be neat if all of your on-demand content could live in your app year-round? You could actually go in from your entire event and say, hey, wait a minute. All that amazing stuff that we just did at our event, we want that on-demand content year-round. JUNO allows you to do it, but we also allow you to launch your full courses. We have micro learning, assessments, all of that lives right inside of JUNO where you can actually have your courses. Wouldn't it be neat if you could take some of that content from your event, actually turn it into credentialed courses where you can come in and people can actually have full credentials. That's what's great about JUNO. We do all of your credentialing. So you can come in here, build your credentials, take courses, turn them into credentials. I can come in and say, hey, I want to claim this. And it says, hey, you've got to still go before you can do it. Okay, I want to continue earning credit. Here's the things you need to do if you're going to earn that credit. JUNO's got all of your credentialing, all of your learning, all built right inside of here. And then not only that, let me go back in here. Not only that, we've got the achievements where we've got all the badging and gamification. So what makes JUNO so powerful is we are not an event app. JUNO is not an event company. Events are one part of all that we do. So if you're sitting there with your colleagues going, budgets are tight, wouldn't it be great if you could get with your colleagues and say, hey, community colleague, hey, learning colleague, what if we could all come together with our budget and buy one solution and that actually allows us to engage our people year round in all of our events, all of our big events, small events. If your event is across 5 continents and 60,000 people and you've got 70 concurrent sessions, JUNO can do that for you on desktop and mobile. If you're going, we don't want to stop there. We want to have a year-round community where people can engage in groups, in social feeds, in discussions. We can do that. If you're going, gosh, we don't want it to end there. We want to have on-demand content and learning. We can do that. We all know that budgets are tight. We know that if we work together, we can have a single experience for our user that says year-round, we're meeting you in those areas that you want to be met in for those. So people do love badges. Okay, so that is the, let me get this out of here. There we go. That is the overview of JUNO and what we're doing. Again, all of your events, all of your community, all of your learning, all of your networking, all of your credentialing, all in one beautiful, elegant, modern experience. One of the biggest things we've heard at JUNO from our customers is all of our members, our users are saying the software that we're using feels dated. It doesn't feel like modern day technology. And the reason that is because it's not modern. Most of the software that we've been using is stuff that was built 15 years ago. And so what happens is our users go use platforms like Instagram or Spotify or Facebook or WhatsApp. And then they come use our event technology or our community technology and go, gosh, this feels dated. What's great about JUNO is our modern day framework allows us to feel like, gosh, this feels like an app. This feels like a solution that I would use like any other solution that I'm using in my modern day thing. So it's all accessibility ready. You've got your messaging, you've got your notifications, you've got your gamification. It's all built in here. And again, why did we do this? Reggie, we did it for one simple reason. We want to make sure adults don't have bad junior high days. All right, that's JUNO. What questions do we got? How can we help serve you with some questions?
Yeah, Steve Smith asked about data integrations from abstract management systems. Yeah, Steve, definitely a yes. We integrate with Cadmium, Planstone, done integrations for content, speakers, abstracts, all of that stuff. Cost for integrations, there is an additional cost, but we do those as a flat cost because it's something that we've built before. Content integrations do get complicated, so it's one that we work very closely with your team to understand how you're using your abstract management system and make sure that that all flows really beautifully into JUNO. And then the last one, an abstract embargo, absolutely. Everything on our platform has a release date, so you can set up that content where things actually show up as you want the content to be released. So you can launch that all in advance and then actually have that display when it's time to display. Additionally, even just beyond content, we actually have the ability to have configurations that change by day. So if you're doing like a multi-day event and you actually want to have a different banner at the top or feature some other piece of content, we do a lot of that with the rotators. But we can also change the navigation, change the app, and set all that up in advance. So that during a live event, the app actually can kind of morph and change to meet the exact content that you're highlighting and trying to put in front of your attendees that day. Another one, GAM served banner ads. I'm not familiar with that. Like, what's GAM served? We'll come back to that one, Steve. Can features be open for everyone and closed for some registrants? Yeah, another great question. Yes, absolutely. Everything in JUNO is based around access levels. So we know that as attendees, right? So you have people that are paying for things. You might have people that actually want to come on the platform for free. And so with access level tags, we assign those to users and then content. And that'll actually change the user's experience of what they see. We can do multiple things. We can actually have that content show up where there's a lock on it, so that if they click on it, they say, hey, you don't have access. And then we have a pathway for you to take you to your registration platform and gain access. And then we can also, with those access level tags, kind of even create an entirely different experience. Part of that is the groups that we were talking about. Actually, the platform can feel very different and very tailored depending on the groups and those access level tags that we put people in. Josh, we got another one about pricing. You want to take that?
Yes. Yeah, so pricing is going to all be built around users and features. And so it's going to be a graduated scale based on how many users, and it's going to be a graduated scale based on how many features. So if somebody comes in and says, hey, I've got a small event, an audience and just for events, or I've got a large audience and I want to use this year round. So happy to give you our full price sheet, but just think on the terms of graduated scale with users and prices and features.
Great. And then Steve followed up. So again, Google Ad Manager. I'll have to look into that and I'll get back to you, Steve. That's a great question. I don't see any reason that we wouldn't be able to. We pull in content all the time from other platforms, but let me check and get you a solid answer and we'll follow up with you.
One of the questions was, can this be white labeled? The answer is yes. We've got several different customers right now that are using this from a white labeled standpoint. And I'll call out two things. First of all, the way it's built right now is that you would download the JUNO app. It's a QR code or a magic link. And once opens up your app, it'll be completely white labeled to you. So if you're a little bit more price conscious, to be clear, again, this is an exact mirror of your desktop version. So this will all be your branding, your layout, your design, even inside of our app, if you will. And Gabe, you can give the nomenclature for what that app is actually the right one. But then if you say, no, I want this in our app store, when it's on somebody's phone, I want it to say our brand. Yes, it's white labeled. We release them all the time for clients.
Yeah. Another question, are a big percentage of attendees using the mobile app or mostly desktop? It really depends on the event and kind of the way this is set up. Certainly with a mostly in-person, where the focus of the event is in person, get a ton of uses on the app. Josh did mention, I mean, what's great about Juno is that it's not one or the other, it's a both and. So when you get Juno, you get access to both things. But yeah, it really depends on kind of the structure of the event. And when we see a primarily in-person focused event, of course, you got everybody that's mobile, they're on site, and so they're on the app. But then when you've got a lot of content that you're doing streaming, you might be using it from your laptop at your hotel room, as Josh mentioned.
And I'll also say too, when you activate the gamification in the groups, and this is where this came out, to give you a little context. 8 years ago, we were building custom apps for some of the biggest conferences in the world. In fact, we hosted LeaderCast, which is the largest one-day leadership event on the planet. I think there was 126,000 people. We broke 126,000 people into micro groups, and all around the world, they engaged on their phone in activities and actions and conversations all through gamification. So when you gamify and group the experience on your mobile phone, we had people that, part of the way you earn points was physically going to a booth, taking a picture with somebody else on your team, and you would get points for that. What does that do? It drives traffic to the booth. It drives new relationships to people. So people walk away and go, man, I went to all these new booths, I met all these new people, and my team got points for it. That's a strategic way to use a mobile app and gamification and drive value. We hear this all the time, like, how do our sponsors get value? You do it through strategically grouping people together, calling them to action to drive them to booths and reward them for doing so through gamification. How many apps can do that, where you can drop people into groups, actually track what they're doing, build relationships through it? This is what the future looks like of connection, gamification, and value to your vendors.
Let's see. Angela's got a question about QR codes for scanning to verify and track attendance. So one of those, I think you saw it when Josh was clicking around, there is a attend button within the app. So if I just am on the app and I'm like, hey, I want to go to the session, you can track it that way. Additionally, yeah, we actually could use something where you've got a QR code somewhere, like let's say at a booth. We want to know that someone showed up at that booth. We could have someone use a QR code scanner on their phone that would take them into that booth or event on the app. And then that would all become part of the analytics that we're tracking and can provide a report on.
Gabe, there was a question about streaming. Can you speak to a little bit more of our streaming capabilities?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, so is it an integration? No, it's not integration. It's absolutely native part of the platform. And so we do streaming a ton of different ways. We can, we can do native within the platform. We're actually, just like we're on Zoom right now, right? We can do all of that within Juno. I can go to a Juno room, start my camera, start my mic, and actually present, just like what we're doing here. Additionally, we can play content that's like hosted. So if we're doing kind of that simulive type of content, where you've got a video that's in Vimeo, or we can even host those videos for you. Do that where we're starting with a video and then switch over to like a live Q&A at the end of the session. And then additionally, for the really where it's a more in-person focused event, we'll work with the AV company to actually take a stream from them and then play that through the platform. So yeah, absolutely not an integration, like it's a native part of the platform.
And I just want to call out too, on the app, if you're an admin, you've got all real-time analytics. So you can see what's happening now. You can see the live sessions. You can go in and search by date ranges and see all the things that are going on, all real-time graphs, statistics, et cetera, all happening. And this is, you know, a very robust data set that lives inside of here real time.
Yeah, and I love that one at the top, that happening now. You know, so that's always one of the things with the virtual platform. It's like, where are people? When you're in person, I can see how many people are in a room or how many people are on the show floor. With an app, with a platform, a lot of times you had analytics, but it was more after the fact. Okay, I had 500 people in that session. What's happening now, I can actually see, you know, who's on the platform right now, how many sessions are live, where people are, and get that real time view. So you kind of have a sense of like a pulse of what's going on real time with the platform. Another question, can I send notifications to everyone with the app? Feels like no one pays attention to email anymore. Isn't that true? I get in trouble all the time for not reading my emails. Yes, absolutely. So we have ways to push notifications through the platform. And those, if you got the mobile app installed, that'll actually show up as a push notification on your phone. Drop down with the JUNO App logo, click on that, and it'll take you to that area. It takes you to this notification area here. And all of that's tied in. So when people, whether that's something where you're pushing out and, you know, hey, there's a session coming at the keynotes at 12, don't miss it. Push out a notification like that. And then additionally, we get notifications in there about, you know, a post that you were following. Let's say someone, you know, added to that thread, or someone replied and liked a post that you made. So all that's combined into a notification area. And yes, all of that pushes to a mobile push notification. Great questions, everyone. Josh, I think that might be, I think we might have answered everything.
Hey, Gabe, before you guys leave, I see innovators there. What's in that innovators area there?
Josh, that one's, he's talking about in the menu there. He piqued his interest in the more menu. Yeah.
I was on mute there for a second. So if we go into innovators, this is your like exhibitor halls. So you can actually build out these pages. These are really, really cool pages. I'll kind of show you some different ways about it. But when your sponsors come in and they want their own pages, their own booths, their own experiences, JUNO has the ability to come in and build all these innovator halls with really anything you can imagine. Downloadable resources, gamification, comment sections, chat. So, you know, whenever you think about your sponsors and your exhibitors, how do we give them their own micro environments where it's really like their own, I'm going to use, this is the wrong word, but almost like their own like landing page or microsite right inside of JUNO. So that when they come in here and say, these are our title sponsors, I want to be able to chat with them. You can actually chat with all your title sponsors. I got to just say this again. Look at that UI UX, how sweet that is. That is some of this stuff I see for the first time again, because we're always evolving it. I'm like, that was so cool. But you can, there's downloadables, there's chats, there's videos. You can actually, there's no associates available on this one, but when there are ones, you can actually go in there. Let's see if there's one on this one. You can actually go in there. You can be every innovator can have their own live events. So you can go in and actually see the live event that's going on, sample demo rooms, company offerings. So innovators is a section where any of your sponsors, or look, so you can come in here and talk with the team. So, hey, I want to talk to these guys about what's going on. I can, oh, that's another cool thing. JUNO does in-app calling. So you can see I'm actually calling Travis right now. You can call your sales reps. You can call the innovators right then and there on your phone. So we do calling, chat. So innovators is this awesome spot where you take your title sponsors and say, guys, we're going to give you this environment where your sales reps can be in. You can have demo rooms. You can do calling. You can do chat. You can have downloadables, Q&A, everything that you would want to give your sponsors exquisite experiences to interact with their users.